Some great news to report this month. Hi, I'm Kelly Shackelford, President and CEO of First Liberty Institute. Of course, the big news is we have a final victory in the really important Navy SEALs case. Not only important, but a precedent, the first of its kind in the history of our country, which really saved over 80,000 military families who we would have lost. The SEALs got their final victory. We were in court. We now have a judgment. It's not only do we have an injunction and a decision that will be a precedent for the future, but all the files now, none of the negative things that were in people's files, all of that is closed, and there's going to be protection as well as training in the future to protect religious freedom of those who are serving us and giving their all. So that is great news. Thank you for being a part of a huge victory, not only for these SEALs, but everybody in the Navy and really for our whole military. Secondly, we have, of course, new activity going on with regard to our courts, and it's very dangerous. As you probably noticed, just last week, President Biden talked about one of the key priorities to the end of his years in office.
I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform.
Our Supreme Court doesn't need to be reformed. What's happening is we have people that don't like some of their opinions, and they're trying to politicize the court. This is a horrible idea. Of course, we've seen the attempts to do court packing, to add justices. We also have attempts to, quote, have ethics rules for the court that will have, politicians enforcing and attacking the court. They also want to change the life term of the court. A number of these things are unconstitutional. Some of them are not and can be done just by a majority vote. So that's why this is so dangerous. You might wonder, okay, President Biden is not running. So where is President Trump and where is Kamala Harris? Well, we know Kamala Harris has spoken to this, said she is absolutely open to court packing, for instance, and a number of these other ideas. So we've got to ask the candidates where they stand. This is incredibly dangerous. If you pack the court, you end the court. We've seen this in other countries. I would encourage you, if you want information on this, you can go to supremecoup.com. This is something you need to educate people around you about, because if we lose our courts, we lose our country. And you might think it's just a political act and the other side can do a political act. Once you politicize the courts, they're gone, and the independence of the judiciary is gone. And that's something that when we polled, over 90% of Americans said was critical, the independence of the judiciary. So let's educate people. Let's make sure that something really bad doesn't happen to our courts. That's what makes this country so great. Also, be looking for First Freedom Challenge, which is our upcoming really tools to help people as they come into the election. What are the rights of churches and religious organizations with regard to the elections? Are there things they can do? There are a lot of things they can do, all clearly within the law. How should a person of faith think about their vote? Why should they vote? We have basic information, including how this will impact your religious freedoms, so people can make good decisions and make sure that not only they, but their children and their grandchildren have protections in the law. That depends upon who you elect. So get ready for all that material. In fact, you can go to firstliberty.org/elections, and you can start to see a number of these materials. And these are things you can share with other people. Thanks for being a part of all this. We've got a big fight ahead. We've got to make sure and protect the freedoms that we have. If we lose our courts, we don't have religious freedom. So this is of crucial importance, and it's something we can all participate in. Thank you for being a part of these great victories, and we're going to have victories ahead. God bless you.